So ladies and gentlemen, Dune Awakening have just done a live stream and it's about 2 hours long, a dev stream. Let's jump in, let's have a look what they've got to say. We're going to get new things about the game. We're going to learn any new information. What I can see is now we've got the pricing of what is coming to the game, which you'll see on the screen right now. As we can see, we've got this standard edition, which comes with the base game, a Terranium of Muad'Dib, and then we've got a Sunset Dye global swatch. Now, what we are seeing as well before I continue with the other ones, is you look at the far left, you will see a starred out area, the Terranium, the Sunset, and the Head Start. Now, if you look at the bottom left, these are the pre-order awards. So I'm not too sure if we will get them after the pre-order. So if you brought the standard, you might not get the Terranium and that if you don't pre-order it. So I would recommend if you want them items that are highlighted or starred there, make sure you pre-order the game. Moving on to the second one, you got the deluxe edition, which comes with everything that the standard edition does. Plus it comes with a head start, play May the 15th. Then you get the season pass and you get the Sarduka Batter armor. Now I'm probably butchering these names, but they might say it in the dev stream. So we'll see then you got the Ultimate Edition, which has everything that the Standard and Deluxe Edition had, except for it's also got a Caladan Palace building set, so you'll get new textures on your buildings that you could apply to your buildings to make your buildings look even quirkier and funner. And then you got the June 2021 film still suit, so you'll probably have a still suit look in the game, which is pretty cool. Digital art book, digital soundtrack. You get the Blue Dasher Ornithopter swatch and the Dusk Rider Sandbike swatch. Now I'm believing swatch is a different color because when we look in the real world, if we're looking at like to paint our walls, you get a bundle of swatches which are different colors. So I'm believing that's what it is. Let's jump into the video. Make sure you got a cup of tea ready.
Few survive this world, but those who do awaken. The desert wants you dead, off-worlder. If the sands don't take you, the storms will swallow you whole. But you don't.
This game looks so flipping epic.
In every danger, there is opportunity. The foundation of something greater. A power waiting to be harnessed. Desert power. Some claim to rule this planet. But Arrakis is yours to explore. To fight for. To conquer. But there are forces beyond even your control.
Five days earlier, if you get the pre-ordered of the better editions other than the standard. So it's worth it. I believe one's standard's 50, then it goes 70, then it goes 90. So completely up to you what you're going to get. I'm going to be definitely getting one of the better versions so I can play it earlier. I mean, I want to be jumping in this as soon as possible. Dev Squad, honestly, if you're not part of the Discord link is down below. Come to the Discord, come to the Dune Awakening section and let's talk. Let's get talking, gathering, and start building that clan up ready. Let us know what you're going to play. You're going to be Sword Master, etc. Yeah, I'm so hyped.
Master Arrakis, and it will open your mind. This is your path to awakening.
Now, looking at that last building set that we just saw there, that probably is the gonna be the set that we get with it, because I believe that you've got your standard set which we see normally happening, but if you look right here, this is a different set to the standard set. This looks like the standard set here just behind my head right there. I believe this is going to be the updated set, only because that's the only difference. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just like an upgraded, like this is standard material, this is harder material, who knows. But if we look at the Conan Exiles, for example, that's when you get different materials for your buildings. So I'm curious to see what they're going to bring in the future. Are they going to bring in different cosmetics that are out of the Dune universe, or is everything going to have to be Dune universe related? I'll try and pause as little as possible because this is already a long video. Now, I know we're all waiting for it to come to console. We don't have no clue when, but PC is here and it is quite optimized.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first Dune Awakening live. I am Natasha Rösli, Senior PR Manager here at Funcom, and I'm very excited to be your host for today. We have lots of really cool things to go through. Among them, we will show you for the first time live gameplay, while we'll chat about exploration and the world of Dune Awakening. We'll talk about the music and the audio of Dune Awakening. And last but not least, we will also go over our business model and the pre-orders that we just started earlier today. So you'll see we have lots to go through. Also, we will be collecting questions from the chat for the different segments, and we will answer those at the end or towards the end of the stream in a Q&A.
Interesting.
So get comfy, make sure you're well hydrated, and let's get started.
Let's get into it, baby. By the way, guys, when this game drops, I am going to be Twitch streaming almost night and day. Every available opportunity that I have, I'm going to be live. So if you want to watch me live, you want to talk to me live, you want to be part of it live in the chats, come to the Discord. We're going to have voice chats running almost all the time. Make sure you join the Discord and you follow the Twitch.
Welcome to Arrakis.
Thank you.
The most dangerous planet in the universe. Dune Awakening is a multiplayer survival game on a massive scale, where the open, ever-changing world ensures exploration remains a vital activity. Join us as we traverse the breathtaking landscapes and uncover what the sands have hidden. Follow in the footsteps of the native Fremen and learn to overcome the deadly environment. Collect materials to craft a shelter, still suit, and your first vehicle, then venture into the desert. With a scanning module installed, you can scan for resources in smaller areas, or climb the highest peaks to launch a survey probe, revealing large swaths of terrain and important locations like shipwrecks or abandoned Imperial testing stations. Traverse difficult terrain with tools like the Shigawire Claw and Suspensor Belt, and claim powerful tech and gear. Expand your fleet of vehicles and upgrade them with new modules to suit your playstyle.
Well, I have to pause it there. Did we see the different colours of the Ornithopters? Let me just quickly go back to there. They walk past and there's multiple. I believe that is the swatches. We can already see this armour is. This is probably the original one that you get for the Ultimate Edition. The colour. Look at that Ornithopter. Isn't that the sexiest looking Ornithopter you've ever seen, with the red glass and the gold trimming accents? That is absolutely stunning. Take my money.
Expand your fleet of vehicles and upgrade them with new modules to suit your playstyle. From the cockpit of the iconic Ornithopter, even the most remote expanses of Arrakis are within your reach. In the deep desert, massive Coriolis storms regularly sweep across the land with monstrous power, changing the entire map every week. As new resources and secrets are revealed, the race to survey the vast new landscape begins anew. Be the first to mark the location of precious resources, and give the map to your allies, or sell it to other players on the exchange. Here, there are no paths to tread, only power to claim. This is infinite exploration. This is Arrakis.
That wording is unreal. Infinite exploration. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, Minecraft already has it. Yeah, but Minecraft is boxes. It's pixels. I mean, this is pixels technically. But Do you know what I mean? This is infinite exploration, and they said the desert changes every single flipping week. Now, one thing that we did see there, we're going to need people who is going to be surveyors. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be a surveyor, because we are going to need people scanning that desert the day it resets on it. On the ornithopters, out you go, trying to climb to the tallest peaks and scanning all of that rare materials, resources. That's probably going to be the most important role for anyone, is discovering the new resources. So we could be the first to go and get it. We're going to need the spice harvesters. We're going to need people going out there trying to collect spice, not only having to worry about the sandworms, but having to worry about the other players wanting the spice as well. So they're going to have to be the hardcore PvPers. We're going to need the base builders, the base maintainers, because we've just seen that the bases in this game are built on the side of massive rocks, and they're probably built there for certain reasons, because we don't want to be on the sand because the sand is forever changing, and we're going to have a main base, but we're also going to have multiple outposts. So if the guilds can only hold 20 people, but the servers are infinite as well, well, we're going to need to have multiple clans, and we're going to need to try and make a circle around all of the deep desert. So when the deep desert changes, we can literally go and scan it. And between us, we'll just shift all the information and materials between all our clans. That is the only way we can truly rule the whole deserts. Guys, this is going to be next level incredible. And I can't be any more excited for a game. Dune, let's go. May the 15th.
So to talk about the world and exploration in Dune Awakening, we're gonna jump into live gameplay, and I have two guests with me here to talk about that, two very exciting guests. We have here on the side, Jeff Gagné, who is our world director on Dune Awakening, and we have Øyvind Jernskau, who is expert environmental designer, artist, who will jump on and answer questions in the end as well. Jeff, for example, who you might know, by the way, also as El Jefe. For some of you, if you know, you know.
El Jefe means the boss in Spanish.
To the viewers?
Yes, I'm Jeff. As Tasha said, I'm the world director on Dune Awakening. I've been in the industry for 2 decades, worked many years at Ubisoft and Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed, The Division, jumped to other companies, worked on that.
Whoa, he is El Jefe. He's got to be the boss. There's no way this guy has worked on the likes of Division and Assassin's Creed, all of these games. This guy is an absolute goat, mate. This game is going to be sick if it's got someone like him coming to it.
Battlefield, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Did you just say Battlefield? Whoa, what games?
By the way.
Wait, let's mark down all these games.
For some of you, if you know, you know. Jeff, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to the viewers?
Yes, I'm Jeff. As Tasha said, I'm the world director on Dune Awakening. I've been in the industry for 2 decades, worked many years at Ubisoft and Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed, The Division, jumped to other companies, worked on Battlefield, Divinity Original Sin 2, and now I'm working on this beautiful world made out of sand and rock.
Legend.
Øyvind, do you have a nickname by the way?
Legend.
Call me All-Father.
Oh, All-Father, like Odin?
Yes, because I know so much about
It's
the
like,
game.
it's like off his dad as well.
Hey, yo, Ovind.
Knows we can go to
Ovind. Jump on over to our Discord, spill all the beans, let us know all the information. If you're the All-Father, join the Discord and give us all of the information.
Øyvind, if there's any questions.
This is true.
But yeah, introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, hello. My name is Øyvind Jernskau. I've been in the industry for 3 decades.
Yes.
Started with in Funcom in 1996. The majority of my time has been here. I've basically been working on all the Funcom games almost.
On all of them, including Secret Worlds.
Secret World, Longest Journey, Dreamfall, Age of Conan, Exiles, Anarchy Online.
You actually worked on Anarchy Online?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And
I think
that
a
old.
lot of viewers will go like, yes, right now. So that's amazing.
It doesn't look like it, but you're that old.
Oh my
yes.
god. We don't do that here. We don't do any age shaming here. I was like,
Wait, hold on a minute. He said he's been working there 3 decades, right? And what he just said is you don't look that old. Honestly, let me know in the chat, how old do you think he looks? Because he was saying he was starting to work there at Funcom in 1996. I was born in 1993. So I was 3 years old when he was working at Funcom. So he doesn't look like he's in his mid-50s, does he?
All right. But yeah, so as we now jump into some of the gameplay, we'll have actually Camille behind the camera who is playing for us. We will, there he also emotes, nice,
Well
love
done.
it, love it. So as we take our first step here into the world, I mean, one of the main concerns that players have, or that we see often asked in the public, is like, Arrakis is a desert planet. Is it going to be boring? You know, like, can you do a lot with the desert?
Yes.
But we can, I think we can. I think we can actually say that we can. So what was the biggest challenge, though, to make our Arrakis?
Yeah, it was basically, when I started at Funcom, one of the most important pillar I had for me was, well, for the world, was verticality, right? Yes, I was in charge of the world on a desert planet, but I wanted to make sure that we would still have a lot of verticality in the game, right? So we'll see that later also, but there's a lot of rock formation and different biomes that we will explore and things like this, but it was really, really important to me that it was just not a flat space of sand, right? Thanks to Oyvind and a lot of people on the world team, we were able to manage quite a lot of different high elevation with a lot of different vistas, like the one that we have right now. And we can see Camille using the binoculars to make sure that you can look at the trade post. Right here we have 4 of them in Hege Basin, the map that you will play many hours. This is a neutral section that hosts a lot of NPCs. You can talk to vendors, you can get some contracts. It's our quest systems and other things like that in there.
I think it's also interesting to note that while we explore here and use the binoculars, it does actually add the points of interest that you're looking at to the compass at the top.
Yes, exactly.
Plus you can also add your own markers,
absolutely.
right? So I think that's also
Yes.
Oh, I love that one,
Yeah,
by
that's
the
a
way.
little garage that we added
Yes.
because we had, during the beta, there was a lot of
Yes.
players going to the trade post with their hard-earned sand bike, and they were just placing their sand bike here there. They were going to the trade post, and then a sandstorm was coming. When a sandstorm comes, the door closes.
Yep.
We are getting a sandstorm now, so we can.
There
actually,
is a
yes.
sandstorm, so we'll see.
But
We'll
what
see.
I think is very cool, like just to
This is epic.
mention that again, we added those garage areas because our beta
Yeah,
testers
absolutely.
actually came up with the idea, and they're like, okay, my sand.
Yeah,
bike
can I
is
have
destroyed.
garage?
Like,
Yeah,
can I have a
absolutely.
garage?
Because for us,
So-
I don't know, we play the game so much, so it's hard to know what we don't know, right? So
And we
yeah, the
actually
door
have-
closes, and then when you're stuck inside and your bike outside, when you go out, your bike is destroyed. So now if you put at least your bike in a little garage, it's gonna be okay.
Or quite damaged at
yeah,
least,
quite
right? Like,
damaged at least for sure, right?
So we might actually see here the doors being, we see the sandstorm incoming here.
That noise.
If the sandstorm actually comes close enough. It
Yeah,
looks
now
like
it is. Yeah, you should
Yeah, it
get
is.
inside, Kim.
Yeah.
Which is gonna eat a bit of time though, but that's just how it is.
I haven't actually tried. Can you get like squished and killed between the doors? That's actually something I want to figure out now because I honestly don't know. I haven't tried
Yeah,
that.
Camille, don't try it.
Yeah, don't
But
try
I think you're pushed in or out. I don't exactly remember.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. You also see like
Well,
yeah,
that's funny
the
because
door closed.
there's a lot of things that can happen in the environment, and yeah, that just happened during the stream. So it didn't happen earlier, but now it happened. So we're gonna wait a little bit and talk a bit more, right? So the thing in front of Camille was that's the contract board. So it's one of the way that you can get quest, like contract things to do basically. You pick them up and then you do them, you get some rewards. You can also find contract in the world. Some people might have been sent to kill other baddies, and then you just happen there, you steal the contract and you finish the job and get the reward for yourself.
You also saw that you have faction-specific contracts as well. They have like specific icons there, of course. So
Absolutely.
there's lots of things that and then you can of course see your quests or contracts, like we call them here in your quest.
Do you know what I'm seeing here, which is very refreshing, is like the likes of Conan Exiles. There isn't actually quests. So you do quests or you do dungeons, etc., but you don't actually have quests. So you're very detached from the game. It's kind of, you are surviving and you're going out and just doing whatever. In this, I mean, there is quests. But there is a journey, let's say, but once you've completed that journey, there's no more. I wonder if there's going to be an actual expansive quest that every week you get new quests and stuff on this game. Because I mean, this is cool. It just gives the game more life and does make it infinite. Because if we are just stuck in a desert and not being able to do anything, then it probably will over time become boring. But this is going to keep like longevity.
So to speak.
Yes.
So you have like, you also have like the faction
Can I fly you
agents
somewhere
here,
today?
like in these trade posts that you can like talk to if you want to actually start one
I like
of the
to
faction
fly.
quest lines.
Yeah,
Fast.
absolutely.
Storms, worms,
There's
or
a quest
static,
line that's
nothing
in you
stops me from
later
getting
in
where I
another
need to go.
region that
But you know what I
brings you
don't
to
like much? Talking.
aligning yourself with one of the main faction, either Atreides or Harkonnen.
And also what we saw just now was you can
yes.
actually, once you have a trade post explored or unlocked, you can actually use a pilot that flies you to one of the either Arrakeen or Harko village, like the
Yes,
faction
you
cities,
can go
the player
to
cities.
the trade post, or you can also fly outside of this map and then go into the cities. And there's a lot more things to explore there, more NPC to talk to.
Did you hear that? You can leave this map and go to all the cities. Are they trying to say that eventually there'll be new worlds and this is not the only world that's going to exist? Very interesting, because all we do know is that the Hagen Basin is already bigger than Conan Exiles. The Deep Desert is humongous.
You have access to the exchange, which is the Dune auction house, where you can buy and sell things for and from other players.
Yeah, because generally you actually need an ornithopter, right,
Yes.
to go there. So we made sure that even newer players can actually enjoy those areas,
Yeah.
even if they don't have the ornithopter unlocked just yet.
Exactly. It takes a lot of time to get the Topter, so
It's
It's
good to
worth
be-
it.
It's worth it.
It's,
oh yeah, it is.
absolutely, 100%.
absolutely.
It's a really wow moment. I remember when I made myself my first ornithopter, I was very proud, and it was a
Yes.
really cool moment.
Sometimes when I test bugs, I just stop and I just fly around.
Really, just to
Yeah, do the booster.
enjoy your work. so
Takes
to
longer
say.
to fix bugs
Yeah, but
because
nobody knows that.
You can enjoy your work,
exactly.
you know.
Well, now everybody knows.
You need to, yeah.
Absolutely.
So in this case here, we do have a sandbike already, and we have like a few things that we're checking out now in the base.
Camille deposing blood that he harvested from enemies before. That's the best first way to, well, second way I must say, to hydrate yourself. First way is to suck up sap plant at the start of the game. But then at some point you unlock tools to be able to harvest blood from enemies, and then you can process it into water, where you can then drink. You can also drink blood if you're really desperate, but it's not really good.
It's not
really
suggested at least, or
No,
it's not
exactly.
like, yeah.
So yeah, we've shown a lot of Haga Basin South in many of our videos before and other things. So Camille is gonna move away from there. Still see a couple of, have a little look at a couple of other locations on the way. Luckily for us, it's nighttime now, so there's not much sun to deal with because it's better to travel during the night. You don't have to run with shadows and things. And then Camille is
Doing a
having
barrel
little
roll.
drive.
Well, at least we know we don't fall over when the bike flips. We're getting all of the raw footage. So we've seen that the sand leaks into the main base, and we've seen that you can flip a bike. You're probably going to fall over in the main game. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a day one patch. But we are hearing that it is better to travel at night. At least the landscape is beautiful because the moon. Whoa, the June moon is now the moon. But yeah, the moon is actually stunning. The game's stunning. So yeah, we're getting a lot of light and we're getting a lot of things. But I don't know. I still would want to travel a lot during the day.
A little barrel roll, that's fine. It happens. It's going up that little rock formation here. Beautifully set rest.
I also, yeah, exactly. I love how the guides literally kind of, you know, guide you there. The lights guide you a little bit. I mean, I think it's not like too obvious, but it's still like nice to have like little things that your eye goes to.
Exactly. This is
That's
classic world
that's
design and
building,
never at the
right?
heart, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, now we're going to meet our lovely Directionara. He's our planetologist, if I can say it like this. He's one of the NPC that you will meet in the game to learn a new skill tree, basically. So you talk to him, and then you do little things for him, and then when you're done, you will be able to unlock a new skill tree that you might not have when you create your character. There's many of them in the world. You will have to find them, and when you do so, you will be able to unlock more skills to diversify your build.
Yeah.
So, like the likes of Conan Exiles, yet again, I do keep bringing up Conan Exiles, but obviously because it's the same developers and it is the same sort of thing, but just the Dune universe, is you can eventually in Conan Exiles learn every single skill. So I'm guessing this is the same scenario here. When you go out and do the world and get certain, maybe got to do quest lines, maybe got to do quests to get quest points, which unlock it. We don't know the full in and out. Maybe we will find out. But typically you have to do something, and then with that you would go and give it to him to learn and unlock more. So we did know by the previous videos that we are going to be able to unlock everything. So in theory, when you first start your skill selection, just choose what's going to be best for early game, maybe mid game, because late game you're going to get everything.
So once again, exploration pays off because you might actually find those trainers out in the wild to like customize your builds as well. Because as we know, you can mix and match all different trees as long as you have skills unlocked.
Exactly, and there's lovely little set dressing there done by the art team to really emphasize that this guy's growing some plants in the harsh world of Arrakis. Now,
I'm gonna jump back on our bikes. I mean, we also saw Camille use the Shiga wire claw earlier. So
yeah, the start.
because traversal and traveling is gonna be a big part, obviously, for players. They will spend a lot of time doing that, so we also wanted to make sure it's actually fun. Both.
So guys, if you're going to be a scanner in the clan, I would definitely advise the path tree that stops you from taking full damage. Because if you're going to be doing a lot of climbing, you're not going to be wanting to be taking too much full damage. So I definitely would recommend that. Bless me.
Both in terms of how the world looks like, but also in terms of the options they have to do that, right? You wanna...
Well, using the Shiga wire during combat is can be quite effective as well. You can even use it to stun.
Very true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a multiple purpose, and then I don't remember if Camille was doing that. Oh, yep.
Oh, we have a dynamic encounter here.
Yeah, that's a dynamic encounter. So yeah, sometimes you travel the world and then things happen, and then it was a group of scavenger with a broken down bike. And then
they wanted your bike.
Yeah, exactly. They shoot on sight.
Also, they didn't plan well enough.
No,
obviously,
exactly.
Because that's something you should definitely do. You need to be able, or you need to plan ahead if you travel.
Yes. So now we're gonna go to the Vermilius Gap. There's this thing flying in the background. It's a Sardaukar dropship. They will soon disappear because they are only there during the night. They have this massive light, and then if you get caught into the light, you're stunned into place for a little bit of time, and they throw Chol mercenary at you. You're not important enough for them to send Sardaukar, but they still send Chol mercenary to basically get rid of you, because for reasons I will not talk about here.
I wonder if there's any point where you do become important enough where they do throw Sardaukar at you, because obviously, like you said, right now you get mercenaries, but does that mean later on that we're going to get more elites coming after us?
They are there to find you, basically.
Look for someone.
Exactly.
For someone.
So now the worm is probably getting out. Yes.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yep.
We can see. Yeah, you should get out there.
Too much vibration. You see the vibration bar there, so we actually pissed
the little
someone
worm
off back there. The little one. Those are the little ones.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what's cool about the sandworm specifically is that they actually have their own territory.
Yes.
Like they have their own kind of life, if you, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's not visible for the players, but there's many worms in the map, and they all have their own territory. And then when you cross them, it's another worm that's gonna run after you, and they're really territorial. Yeah, exactly. Excuse my French. And that's yes, they will come after you no matter what. And the more vibration you do, the faster they will come to you.
And here is just pausing NPC camp because there's like different slices and different areas as well. So we just pass. Or we're going into, I think it's actually in.
Yeah,
It's a camp. It's
yeah,
an
exactly.
NPC camp, yes.
And now we'll see the beauty of even work and world design. There's a beautiful arch that when you pass it, look at this. There's
The
this
vista.
beautiful, exactly. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Remember to stop here, go off your bike, enjoy it.
Exactly. Enjoy it.
We spend a lot of
Stay in
time
the
on
shade,
this.
stay in the shade.
Stay in the
Make sure.
shade.
But also what we just saw here was that there is an icon there, like at the camp as well, because
The Kirab. The Kirab symbol.
Yeah.
yes. So for example, the camps have different factions, or we have different factions in the game, different NPC factions. They might even fight each other as well. You will know.
Look at this. We can change our abilities on the go. So if the ones that we're about to go into combat with aren't going to be satisfactory to what we're doing, we can literally go and change them. That's so cool.
Just that as you explore, but more importantly, there's a reason and that they look different as well.
Yeah, yeah. We have to diversify the camps, right? So they have the Kirabs, they like the broken machines, they try to fix them. We have the scavengers, which is like the first faction you actually meet. They're just trying to survive, like you, of course. And later on, you get more and more advanced factions, and they all have, you know, their banners, symbols, and kind of way of life, and how important they are on the hierarchy. So you need to fight your way up to the top.
Exactly, and they use different abilities also, and yeah, the higher you go in the factions, basically, the harder enemy gets, and they have more abilities to attack you and different weapons. Oh, there you go, got stunned a little bit. But now Camille has a shield, so he's pretty much invincible to bullets, even though there's a power drain when he gets shot at. But that's a really good way to survive against melee, against range weapons.
I love his path though, like the build. I am a swordmaster at heart. I love the swordmaster tree, so I am melee to do and to do. I actually hate if I have to use a weapon. I love the combos and those things. So.
I'm more of a gun guy myself.
You got a gun guy yourself. Well, that's good.
That's the beauty of things, right? You can play like you like to play. Like your approach, you can also be more sneaky.
Yes.
I always try to be more sneaky, and then I just end up aggroing the whole camp. Just like it never works out.
Camille using the voice right here
Nice.
to attract the heavy. They are big baddies, and they have shields.
Yeah, they're annoying. They're very annoying.
Light machine guns, they're pretty annoying, yes. Because when they don't shoot, they have a shield, so you can't really shoot at them. And they have a lot of bullets.
So talking about combat, we know that you have a lot of questions regarding melee combat in general.
That turret's a bit strong.
So we won't go into that today. Also, question.
Whoa, Dune. Dune. The AI needs to be worked on a little here. There's a guy standing at the front door with a minigun shooting at you. You've got a turret shooting back, but the other people are completely oblivious to what is going on. What on earth is that? The game is actually incredible and stunning, but it still looks like it's in early development. Because that sort of thing, unless people are deaf or they got loud blaring music and they can't hear anything, they should definitely be more aware or alarmed that you are there. That's one negative I've seen. And I did see another negative on this earlier, just before this, that in the sand, there was a rendering issue that we saw. There was squares. So where the world is constantly changing, it's probably AI'd, made by AI or changing through AI. I don't quite know. But it didn't render properly, so it was leaving squares on the floor. I think this is why it's not coming out on console yet, because I still think there's a lot of optimization that needs to be done. Regardless, I'm still going to play it and I'm still going to love it, but this is pretty weird. Let's see what happens when you attack an enemy in the camp.
Or reply-wise, but we will have a dedicated combat stream for you down the line, and then you can comment.
Okay, that did alert the people near.
Then, so just keep that in mind if we don't answer any combat questions today. Very aware that you might know more.
So this enemy is a shield, so there's different weapons that are good against that. And they're using a disruptor right there, which is high burst rifle, throw a lot of bullets at the same time, so that's really good to be able to do.
Do you reckon it's because you used your sword at the start, and when you used your sword you didn't make any noise? Because maybe the gun is what alarmed them all. However, regardless, they were still using a minigun, so it still should have alarmed everyone.
And then you can finish them off. by how you want. Now it disappeared, which is really good, but Camille was fighting under the sun earlier, so he got sunstroke, which is one thing you have to keep in mind all the time when you travel during the day. So, and then he was dehydrating extremely fast, and now his hydration is pretty low. So you can see also whenever he shoots, the shield is turned off by default, because you cannot shoot when you have a shield on you, of course. So you have to be careful into when you use a ranged weapon.
Interesting.
Now we can harvest their
So it needs to be a sniper and a sword, basically. Sniper when you are not really too bothered about who's going to attack you, and sword when you're up close personal.
That's what he's been doing now. He fill all his container. There's a lot of different containers that we have in the game. There's a little light that is pretty straightforward to know what is lootable and what is not. There's different size of chests. That's a bigger one right here. You get better loots and bigger piece of armor and things like that. That's a med crate, so you get a lot of med kits and different things. The locker that was there is pieces of component to craft and upgrade different weapons in the game. And then there's a lot of different things also. There's bigger, glowier, better chests also. We're gonna see one later because like Tasha was saying, there's a lot to explore in this world, and I was personally more than happy to hide a lot of different things in all corners and height and depth of this planet. The turret is probably going to do its job. There you go. It's a really good skill to use at the start, by the way. It's really good against enemies. But there's a shield, so it doesn't do much. There you go. Slow blade.
Oh, that was cool.
Turret finished up the enemy, which is good.
I'm not sure if you saw it, but you can also parry.
Absolutely, yes.
The enemy blades,
Yes.
stun them a little bit.
And now Camille's in a cave, which is another little piece of environment. This is a tiny cave that we have right here.
Also, we just found the contract there.
No, it's
Isn't that a contract?
it's a contract container, but there was nothing right here because he doesn't have the contract.
Oh, it was actually a quest item.
Exactly,
Okay,
it was a quest item, but he doesn't have a contract. So at least for this specific, there's a lot of different places that you can find pieces before you have the contract, and when you have the contract, you can turn it already, right? But and then we just exited the little cave, which is another little environment that you get specific component in there. It's a old Fremen remnant from their ancient past, because you know that Fremen have had a little bit of a hard history in our timeline right here. And you can find different components to craft different things like steel suits and cutter rays and things like that. And there's other landmark like the one we've seen right here, this big mining rig that has been abandoned for years and years, that now have been conquered, and now it's Kirabs living there, like you said, right? All right,
And
another
we're-
base.
Yes, we're at our second base here. Super nice.
No way.
By Tor Eagle.
So we definitely can see multiple bases in this video. They said they're at the second base. And this, or it said number 3 on the door. Does that mean it's their third base, but they're calling it their second base because it's the second one we're viewing? And this has been designed by someone. So list. I'm going to be quiet and let's actually have a look at this house. I mean, I love customizations and I love making the houses feel like homes in that sense. But how can you do that in the Doom world?
It's Kirabs living there, like you said, right? All right,
And
another
we're-
base.
Yes, we're at our second base here. Super nicely done,
Beautiful
by the
base.
way, by Tor Eagle. Shout out to Tor Eagle from marketing team, our communications manager. He is our internal builder. He is just amazing.
Oh, he
Also, talking about building, like the screenshots that our beta testers are posting on our Discord are so mind-blowing. I cannot wait
Yes.
what the wider community is going to do with this. Like,
Yeah.
I am so excited. It's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about.
We did just see another bug there, guys.
What people can come, or what people will come up with building-wise.
Absolutely, because if
I
you
can't
remember,
wait.
there was the don't remember the name, but there was this person at the beta that made this car dealer.
The car dealer.
The car dealer.
Yes. Yes.
There was this massive base with little.
Yeah, like almost like honeycomb things,
Yeah,
like
exactly,
in a
yes.
beehive, and each had like an ornithopter or a sandbag that you could
right.
look at, like
Yes.
literally like a car dealership. It was absolutely
Yes,
mind-blowing. It was
with all
so-
different swatches,
so
you know, with different
creative.
colors
Yeah.
and
It was
a
so
Treaties
creative.
buggy and an Arcanon buggy and a lot of different. That was really cool. That was really cool.
Also here we see Camille is actually now preparing to, you know,
Go farther.
ahead.
Yes.
But also I think did he? I think he now can abandon like the previous base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So
It's pretty good that thanks to Thor, because there's another base, right? But that's a big thing in the game. We expect player to move.
Whoa. We're not just going to skip right over that. Hold on a second.
previous base.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we now see storage units.
Thanks to Thor, because there's
Wait, we're going to have to pause this.
that's
Sub 5 console.
a big thing in the game.
Guys. Advanced sub 5 console, permission storage general settings. Base shields powered down in 28 days, 1 hour and 38 minutes. Storm alerts in 0 seconds. Taxes due 6 days, 16 hours and 30 minutes. 3,000 coins. So then, ladies and gentlemen, we know that we've got to keep our power active, and the more we put into our power, the longer it lasts. It lets us know if there's a storm coming, and we are going to have to continuously pay taxes. So guilds, we are going to have to be sorting this crap out straight away, making sure we've always got plenty of coin, and making sure we've always got plenty of power. Now, I'm guessing the storm alert is for the power so that the shield can stop the storms from damaging it. I don't know if it stops the deep desert storm. A lot of people said no. And then we can see here the base area, and then you've got building pieces. So can we improve this? Because we see here we can refuel the generators, and you can set it as your respawn location, main base. So we are going to have multiple bases, but we can see everything that you could do with it. The decorations, the storage, the lights, the production, projection, and Solaris per cycle free for unpaid amount.
We expect player to move because everyone was starting the Haga base in south that you can see here.
That's his old base.
Yeah, that's his
the
old
first
base, and then he can just abandon it, and then it's gonna be.
Oh wow!
Cleaned up by the storms.
Yes.
And it's really cool because, well, he doesn't have to get back there because he brought all his things already. But also it gives more space for the new players
Yes.
that will join the server to be able to build their base there.
Yeah.
So there's this flow of players that can go and further into the map, right?
The storm is like a Roomba of Arrakis.
Yeah, Storm
around
is
speeding up.
Shaiulu, then Storm is the Roomba of Arrakis, absolutely, 100%. So now it's time to
Interesting.
fly.
This, of course, opens up the world even more.
Yes.
So you have a lot of additional opportunities and a lot of additional options now. Here we're looking at the area we were just at from the air.
Yes.
Again, for me, this was such an amazing moment when I, for the first time, got my very own ornithopter. I had to craft it myself. I had to work for it, literally in the game. And then you get to fly.
Yes.
It's just...
So that hole down there, Imperial Testing Station. We have different type. This one is a geological one, so it's more about old research about mining and resources and different minerals that got abandoned for 10,000 years when spice was discovered. They abandoned a lot of different things, and they've been recently reopened. And then, of course, there's a lot of baddies that are living there now. They took care of that. Mostly, again, we're still in the Vermilius Gap, so it is Kirab living there.
Also, we just flew over that white.
Yeah, this
yes.
white cloth right there. This is flower sand. It's a resource that you can harvest.
Oh wow!
Which is not really. I mean, you can. It's not that great, but you can.
It's not as efficient.
It's not
but-
efficient, exactly. Or with a static compactor, which is way more efficient. But it's on the sand, so of course you create vibration, and then what that means.
Worm
is coming, exactly. So now we're gonna. Oh, there's this big ship that fly from time to time, and there's
yes,
also
and there's
this
also
thing
a
there.
crashed
Yeah, and
spaceship
also,
that is coming down slowly out of the atmosphere. Yes.
Wait, so a crashed spaceship, when it lands, you will be able to probably go and loot it. So you got to keep an eye out for that. You can so there's going to be so many different ways of harvesting everything in this game. Now I want to know a bit more about this ship.
Crashing ship that's
Also
gonna
dynamic
fall
events.
somewhere. We don't know where. It happens from time to time. So we went onto this little flat rock. Literally, we called it literally that. It's the flat rock.
Is it actually called the flat rock?
I think there's
We
an
need-
outpost. There's an outpost just out
Joel,
under
give
it.
it
I think.
give it a name, Joel. Like,
Joel is the one who gave the name, by the way.
oh
There's
no,
the-
zero.
Yeah, there's flat rock.
Spice.
Spice blown out happening. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That is sick.
Just so everyone,
Spice blow.
there's nothing scripted here. It's all systemic, right? So.
Dynamic.
But
yeah.
Camille is gonna burn himself now because he's under the sun. So you should go hide. and
Do not stand on a place where you see there's something happening, something in that
No,
color.
exactly.
Do not stand on it. Just
Exactly.
as a tip.
So that's one of the
Oh
global
wow.
talking about. As I said, there's
Oh wow.
in throughout the world in many places, and then in them you can find these purple things, unique schematics. When you find one, you need to go back to a safe space.
Guys, we need to get all of the schematics first week in this game. We're going to make YouTube videos on where they all are as well, but we need to get all of these schematics as soon as they come available.
To learn it, and Camille found a couple more. Good stuff.
Including a last gun.
Including a last gun.
Yeah, people wonder about
This is
last
really
guns.
late game, by the way.
We do have
But,
last guns in the
yes,
game.
we do have last guns, but you cannot create nuclear explosion with them. In our timeline, Shelm have specific anti. What's the word? I always forget. The safety.
Safety, yeah.
If you point at another player or an enemy with a shield with a las gun, that will not shoot. Because we don't want to everyone to just nuke everyone for the lulz. You know?
It will basically just block.
Yeah, exactly.
It will but
Why not? Why won't you just nuke people for the lulz?
it's the term.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's probably an English word for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But you're safe and sorry.
But
Yeah, exactly.
this is one of the things that I was really excited about, and I know both your teams were working really hard on to find those hidden places and hide goodies for players to find. I remember even in normal the small caves that we saw earlier that are actually relatively small, I was climbing there as just figuring out how high can I actually go up in that cave.
Oh wow, that's just surveying.
Look, literally had a chest with something very rare.
Yes.
And I personally, as a player, I love those things because it makes me feel probably not everyone has found that.
Question, why does it have a timer? Is that you've got to survive that timer? Does that mean someone can attack you or steal it during that period?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see the big hammer right there? It's an landmark called Mirzaba. Well, if you climb at the top, maybe there's another thing, you know?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
You know?
But it's not all.
Oh. So we can see top left area completion, right, which is 7% out of this area scanned, right? We got landscape, but we're seeing these blue things. We're seeing all these little landscape markers here dotted around. And we got the resource density. So I don't know if this is level 1, 2, or 3, but in this area wherever they are is where we need to go, it looks like, because it's got max level of all of these resources here. Are the resources these red circles? And guys, I think the flat top where they are right now, just try and take a mental note of what this looks like. This flat top might be the ideal spot to build a base because we could take over the whole flat top.
Always that obvious. It's actually really fun that sometimes there's nothing there, and no, actually.
Yeah. There's obvious place, but now Camille used the survey probe, which is really cool. So it surveyed a part of the map and it opened up, and now we can see a lot of different things. So you can see the shipwreck just north.
Zoom out a bit more. Go on.
There's different outposts, and this is where you can get intel points. You see it right here, 0 out of 1. This is where you can unlock more tech in the tech tree. There's the red circle you see there. This is drum sand. So this is a Dune thing. If you go there, you hear it when you play boom, 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 and it attracts the worm like no tomorrow. And there's the other ones also that we see with the little lines on the right, which is tidal dust, which is the Dune term.
So don't step in the red locations if you want to cross the sand so you don't activate the worm. I'm guessing the reason there is them areas, so if you are going into PvP, you could simply go on them areas to attract the sandworm really quick.
Internally, it's quicksand.
Help you out, maybe.
#1 killer of vehicle.
Yes.
Which is interesting though, because in the 80s, I was really thinking quicksand is going to be a way bigger problem than it is nowadays. Because my childhood was ruined by movies with quicksand deaths. let's not talk about never-ending story. But anyway, so we have quick zone in the game here. So here it is actually a Pro one.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
and I know from personal experience that yes,
Yes,
it loves to eat
exactly.
vehicles.
So you can see a lot of landmark there. Thanks
Ooh,
to,
and also a
again,
nice barrel roll
Yeah.
here from Camille. Very nicely done.
They fly so well.
We have different modes in like when you fly. Like
Yes.
You have like
You can
Wanna
fly.
comment on that?
There's
the
the-
vulture modes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
normal.
You can do a lot of different things, and it's arcadey in a way, right? But it's easy to use, and it's really pleasant to go around. And Camille right there is just showing another thing also. I was talking about quicksand and drum sand, but there's also radiation in the game. You can see it with this little cute fuzzy thing that looks like northern lights, but yeah, you don't go there.
Don't stay in there.
No, exactly.
And
Okay.
but because we have more things to show, obviously, we're gonna fly to some other areas. But we would like to start a poll here and open it up to Twitch chat. What would you like to go see between Imperial testing station or a shipwreck? Like those two. Like maybe we can also explain what the difference is briefly.
100%, absolutely.
But also, so we open a poll, and if you do exclamation mark vote A or vote B, so you can vote for either of them, and then at the end of like I don't know, maybe 2-5 minutes, we see how long we're gonna run.
What would you rather them go and explore? A shipwreck or an Imperial testing station? Interesting.
It. We'll see what you voted for, and we go visit that. We might die though, because it might be kind of like a high-end thing that we're gonna
Yeah,
show
we're going
you,
into
so-
a little higher tier,
Yes.
and Camille is not fully equipped for that, but that's fine. He's gonna get good, and it's gonna be great.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Like now we also see like different rock textures, right? Like what's the inspiration to go with specific rock textures? Maybe you can talk about
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
a little
what
bit.
Oh yeah, rocks. My
Owen's,
specialty.
Owen's favorite topic, rocks.
Rocks and sand.
I love blazing rocks. Yeah, the body dome is kind of the inspiration for a lot of the rock shapes. You will probably see it from the movie. But of course, that's a bit too Earth-like. So we had to kind of, ramp it up a little bit. Place some rocks vertically, having like these little mushroom shapes with the kind of like holes. And maybe there's a little secret on top of some of them.
Or inside them.
Or inside
also.
them.
Or under
Exactly.
them.
Or under them, there's canyons. Because we have to make it a little bit more alien, right? So we can't just use Earth-like
Ooh,
shapes.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, you're getting good at this.
Also,
Yeah.
what I personally love is that also when you run on the ground too, there's always this super nice silhouette that we have. You know, I feel like it's never just flat desert, right? It's always like, was that planned? Before we go into the Haga Rift here,
This is what the world's going to look like in about 100 years when Elon Musk finally has the Boring Company up and running. Because this is canyons absolutely everywhere. That's what I do love. It's not just like this one leveled ground with just these rocks that we see on top of it. There is below. So yeah, it's 500 plus square kilometers in a game, which is huge. But it's not just one level, it's multiple levels. So is it really 500 square kilometers or is it 1,500? And remember, it's infinite. Every week the world changes. There's constant things falling out of the sky. So everything's constantly evolving and adapting. It's wild.
are those planned? How does that work?
Some are happy accidents.
There's some, because like Bob Ross would say, some are happy accidents, but there's a lot of, like at the earlier, right, the archway, and then there was the thing in the back. This is 100%
Very
planned,
cool.
of course. This is classic world design, environment design, just to make sure that like it's, yes, of course it's reality and things, but we just magically place things in line, you know. So when you get somewhere, and you were talking about when we were visiting Derek, and there was all these lights, you know, and well, this is classic level design and art design, right? Which is
He's scanning.
things you don't really think about it, and then magically you just reach a thing. And Camille is scanning for things now. I guess it's time
But
to go.
yes, so that's the other thing, right? Like we actually have verticality in the game, so it's
Yes.
not just flat desert, it's on one level. So
That's,
talk to us about this.
Yeah, Ivan, talk to us about how we It was not easy when when we talked about this beautiful region here, how we made it. But
What was the first thing? I want a canyon. Okay, here we have a canyon. Deeper. Deeper? Yes, deeper. More elevation. And it was a challenge because you need to actually get up from this deep canyon as well, right? So we have these platforms that you can drive on. And in the beginning, we didn't have that many, so we needed to add more and then traverse between them.
Wow.
And these tunnels, which are cool, but then we needed to make them cooler with the mining galleries.
exactly.
And then they wanted a bit dark.
Yeah, at some point
which is cool.
we had the Hagger Rift, and it was all fun and game and things. But I was like, how could we make it different?
Yeah.
So I was playing a lot of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and
there
I
you
was
go,
like,
yeah.
you know, in the underworld, do that. And then of course, pitch darkness is not great for art. So you know, we had a lot of iteration and amazing work with the lighting
Yeah.
team to make sure that you can still see in the dark and things like that, right? So, but it was a bit of a struggle to
It's a
make
challenge.
that canyon in there.
Yeah. And I think also, and I know it because I actually placed the tech for it, but you are safe from the sandstorm.
Yes.
Down in there.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to know.
That's good to know.
The sandstorm is coming.
But could you build down there then?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm safe.
And there's obviously no worm. There's no worm down there also, you know. So
That's a
pretty
good thing too.
There's other things.
Yes.
There's other things, but you know, it's different. So where are we going?
We are going to the shipwreck.
We're going to shipwreck.
Chat has voted.
Okay.
Do you know what? Building in the canyon might not be a bad shout. You'd be like the beehive, because imagine like you're getting attacked and all of a sudden you see all these ornithopters just coming out of the canyons like a load of bees and just attacking or wasps. That'd be sick.
We are going to the shipwreck. Let's check
All
out the
right,
shipwreck.
all right.
So also let's talk about, like I mentioned, the difference between because there's differences between like
Yes.
Imperial testing station or a shipwreck.
Yes, I think the biggest part, in fact, that is kind of related to location, but not at the same time, is the Kenley, right? We haven't talked about Kenley. We had it a little bit earlier when we went to the trade post. We were in Kenley Guild Peace. You can see on the top right, there's a Kenley limited warfare. This is the PvE region, and now you're going to see the yellow thing under the compass. When Camille will go closer, the Kenley is going to change to War of Assassin. So every single shipwreck in the game, except the first one, is PvP. So we have these pockets of PvP in there. So when you go there, you need to be careful because yes, you have enemies to fight, but also potentially other players. You don't know, right? And then Imperial Dictation are PvE. There's no problem with that. The big difference also is that, well, the
So shipwrecks are PvP, Imperial test stations PvE. So guys, now we know all the PvEers who don't want to engage in PvP will do all the test stations, and all the PvPers will do in the shipwrecks. I'll be going to a lot of shipwrecks, it looks like.
offer different challenges, they offer a different look, of course, but also they offer a different loot. There are specific components that you want to get at trade posts, shipwrecks, to mainly craft weapons, and at Imperial Testing Station, it's a lot of things mainly to craft vehicles. It's not only that, but it's why you would want to go to one or the other. And then we can see here that now Camille is fighting harder enemies. This is the Slavers now. It's another faction.
He's got his drone out as well.
Don't want to be captured by those guys.
Yes, and they use a lot of suspensor grenade and thematic abilities to basically hook you in place and shoot at you and things like that. So
We just talked about the resources
Yeah.
that you can find in the different, like the differences between resources, but there is generally other ways as well that you can find, or you can buy those resources, or you can buy them
Yes.
from other players, of course, but also from trade posts in some cases. You
Exactly.
can also find them sometimes. It's just not as efficient.
Exactly.
Right? Like
If you-
get it in higher quantity in these areas.
exactly,
But
if you absolutely don't want at all to even get close to a PvP
Exactly,
zone,
yeah,
you can buy the components for Solari, which is the Dune monetary.
That's amazing. Just so like what he was saying there, because you've got this currency in the game, and you can sell schematics, sell vehicles, do whatever you want. You can buy and sell anything. So even if you don't want to go to the PvP areas, you can still buy items that are from PvP areas, from PvP players on their market listed. Now, it's a very big world, so there shouldn't be a massive inflation just because it's a PvP area. I mean, there might be clans out there that are going and getting all this loot so no one else can and selling it pretty high. I don't know. But yeah, at least everyone is going to have full access to this.
Resource, right?
Yeah.
Which is, we always have different ways of getting things depending on your play style in the game. So now, okay, let's get in
Find our way
there.
inside here. This is special.
Yeah, that's a Penta Shield door. He got the ID band earlier, which is pretty good, so he was able to cross it. It's a shield basically. You cannot pass through if you don't have the ID, but he had. So he's gonna get in there. He's gonna probably get another one.
Well.
So that's one of the heavy from earlier, but they're meaner, these guys, because yeah, that's slavers. So he has a shield on. So using the voice and then slash this guy to death.
He's doing really well, though. I gotta say.
Yeah.
The
It's,
fact that they're like.
they have this pushback abilities because when you get too close, they get mean. Here we go. Good stuff.
That turret is pretty strong.
See here, the different things. Also, the armor plating. This is a component to craft different things. Mostly, of course, armors. in the game
Tier
and things.
armor, yeah. And
So
then
here
I
we
think
go.
this
We got the mechanical part and the plasteel microfiber. Thanks, Dune, for all these great terms. That
You'll get used
we
to
have
them
to use.
after a
Yeah,
while,
exactly.
right?
Instead of wood and rock, we have these things. But yeah, this is all these things you get in shipwrecks. Bring that to your base, and then that's going to be helping you to craft with.
But that's the whole of the shipwreck. One room. Hopefully we see a little bit more.
Specifically. And then there's a buggy right there. This is there. You can steal it. We have that in the game also. You can steal vehicles.
Is that a real player?
PCs. So that helps you drive faster or different things like that. So kill that.
Oh wait, you can steal the vehicles. Oh no, you can explore more of the shipwreck. We can see there was another entrance down below.
Close by. That Camille, I'm sure, want to get.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Or not.
Spoilers.
Camille doesn't care about the loot. It's fine. He has already. He already has a last gun anyway.
We've seen the big chest,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
he's like, so he's
exactly.
like, he's
Okay, he's not fully exploring it. He's still leaving some for us to explore.
Now we got another cycle again. It's night, so the starter car drop ship are probably out. But in this region, there's not a lot. Because we're pretty. We're farther into the game now.
All right.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Let's press on.
Let's press on. Yes, we have so much to cover.
Out of
It's
the
a big
out of
game.
the Canley area into.
So what I'm seeing as well when we're looking at the map, all of the light sanded areas PvE and all the dark sanded areas PvP.
Area again.
The red sands.
You will always get an information when
Yes.
you cross something, so you will know that okay, now I'm in PvP.
Yeah,
or PvE
under the
or-
compass, it turns yellow if you go into PvE. It turns green if you go into guild peace, which is mainly cities and neutral zone, and it gets into red if you go into PvP area.
Right.
Interesting.
So when we talk about hazards, we talked about hazards earlier. So we have the radiation, of course. We have the quicksand.
Yes.
Heat.
Jumping.
Heat is also. I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
have
is a-
heat,
is a-
we have fire, we have
Heat is a hazard.
poison.
Worms.
Yeah, we have the worm,
Worms.
of course.
That's a big hazard.
The
yes.
sandstorms also, of course, there's that. The starter car, it's not really a hazard, but you know, it's a thing that can get in your way during the night. And
Yeah.
it's always when you don't think about it, and then you see this big light coming to you, and boop, and then you have the Cho mercenaries falling from the sky, and you start shooting at you while going down because they use suspensors, you know.
I really like the fact. Oh, here we are actually gonna fly into the
Overland map.
edge of the map and go into the overland map.
Yes. So the map that we've seen right there, we've seen just a little bit of it. This is one map. When you craft an ornithopter, you can leave this map. And then you can go to different places, including the deep desert, that we will not go now.
Nope.
So we're not even... That wasn't even the deep desert. And that wasn't even the Haggin Basin. The Haggin Basin's massive. And they said in this video they're not going to the Haggin Basin because we've already seen that. And now they're traveling somewhere else, but they're not even going to the deep desert.
We're gonna show you the thing. So that's a tutorial. We can close that.
We know that people really wanted to see the deep desert. Rest assured, we
Another
will
one.
do that in another
Exactly.
stream.
So we have this map right here where you're basically flying your little ornithopter, and then you can head towards different maps, which is a good thing for us also in the future. We will be able to add a lot more content with this,
Exactly.
which is really great.
Yes.
So that's the Haga Basin map that where we were in, and then Camille will
Wow.
head south towards Harko village. So Camille is piloting his little thing. You have water on one side and fuel on the other.
You could control your ship on the direction. Haha.
A little bit of
Little thing.
little bit of a
You have these little
flourish.
fueling and water deposit here, so you can just stop there, and then your water will go up again. Because even in this little map right here, you're still a survival game, so you know fuel and water is important. And now we're gonna enter Harko village.
That's so cool.
So earlier we had at the first trade post, we actually have NPCs that can get you there too.
Yes,
Before
the
you have an
taxi, yes,
ornithopter, or you can
absolutely.
fly yourself if you have one.
Exactly. It costs a bit of salary to get to cities, of course. We don't do that for nothing.
No one does
But,
anything for free on our
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why did you turn up naked?
Your character, that's what happens sometimes. The
Oh,
equipment-
hello.
Hello.
All right. She
There we
forgot
go.
to dress. Okay, there we
It
go.
happens.
Yes.
Bit loading.
It took a bit of loading, but yeah, so Harko village, this is where the Harkonnen are for now in the game, and we'll not
We're not gonna actually
spoil too
show it
much.
too much here, but that's probably a really nice area to
yes.
close off this section.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
One of the
So-
city, lots of things to do there, lots of people to talk to.
Yes.
contract
Obviously, we are
together.
actually playing on on our own servers, right? On our own
Yes.
server, we're not playing on the beta, or we're not playing on, especially not on the beta, because we didn't want player come like,
That's
hey
a
mom,
crash.
I'm on
You
camera.
crash into
You know,
us.
like yes. So we just needed to do the things that we needed to do, right? And so that's just a single player.
Yes.
So that's the reason you don't see any other players here.
I wonder if there's actually a single player in the game though.
Yes, let's
So you don't have to play multiplayer.
the live gameplay and exploration and the world. Thank you to Camille for playing in the back there. That was fantastic.
You can't see him, but he's
Thank you, Camille.
Yes, and also thank you, of course, Øyvind and Jeff for making time to be on stream and chat to us about all of this. It was a pleasure, as always.
Pleasure to be here.
yes, it was
And-
great.
I work next door.
Yeah, you didn't have that far, right? It was like just
I had
walk over.
I had a bit longer to get, but yeah, it's
Because
good to be
we're
here.
here at our offices in Oslo.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Yes,
From Sweden.
Yes, you had a little bit longer. But yes, so we're actually gonna go into our next segment, which is gonna be about the music and the audio of Dune Awakening. And to get us into the mood for that, we're actually gonna watch a really cool video, the behind the scenes of how the soundtrack was recorded in London.
So guys, I'm going to leave this segment here. I'm going to do another video of all the other segments afterwards. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you join the Discord and you join the Twitch. See you in the world of Dune Arrakis. Let's flippy go, baby. Dune Arrakis. Dune Awakening?